Greetings to all panelists. I'm here to present you about our research paper. But first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dian Pasaribu as the first author of this article, with Madam Sally F. Winda as the second author and Mr. Zeni Haryanto as the third author. We are from Physics Education Study Program, Faculty of Teacher Training and Education at Mula Warman University. Our research paper is entitled Level of Belief in the Usefulness of Action to Combat Global Warming, the Perspective of Senior High School Students in Indonesia. There are 4 big lines today, which are Introductions, Materials and Methods, Results, and Conclusions. First is about background. Global climate change has become vital in human life in recent years. According to a study by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, it is possible to restrict global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial levels to achieve net zero carbon dioxide emissions in 2050 by implementing various mitigation measures. Climate change perceptions can be determined by the weather today appearing warmer or colder than usual. This phenomenon is known as the local warming effect. Although previous study has shown that this impact exists, but it is still unable to explain why or how temperature anomalies influence opinions toward global warming. As a human, we must be enlightened about these issues. Everyone must be aware that their behavior can cause global warming. Awareness of global warming tends to increase concern about relevant topics and urge society to participate in pro-environmental actions. Combating global warming requires an interdisciplinary approach. One of them is education. Education related to the environment is becoming an essential aspect of the curriculum. Educational institutions play a significant role in developing awareness of crucial knowledge and problems. They should provide sufficient environmental education to young people and promote pro-environmental behavior through suitable framing. As a result, further ecological harm can be projected to be avoided by caring the environmental by young generations. Overall, this article aims to link the informed Indonesian senior high school students' perception regarding their belief in action usefulness and point of view in combating global warming. The question in this research include, first, according to students' belief, what action is the most useful in combating global warming? Second, according to students' beliefs, what action is least useful in combating global warming? And the last, what are Indonesian high school students' perspectives on the global warming phenomenon? Second is about materials and methods. This exploratory research aims to explore senior high school perception regarding their belief in action usefulness and point of view in combating global warming. There were 294 senior high school students as the participants in these studies. They consist of 138 males and 156 females. Students come from 26 schools from 8 provinces in Indonesia. The research instrument utilized in this study to investigate responses to research questions 1 and 2 was a questionnaire of 20 statements modified from Rodriguez et al. The original instrument was modified through a focus group discussion by adapting the questionnaire statements to the settings as well as circumstances of senior high school students in Indonesia. In coordination with instructors from the schools involved, research instruments were given to the students online via Google Forms. The sampling method employs random cluster sampling. The 20 questionnaire statements are separated into direct and indirect action, with immediate action containing 16 questions and indirect action containing 4 items. After that, the results were analyzed. So this is the results of students' responses. Firstly, is about percentage of level of belief to act on each statement. The most elevated belief in usefulness of action is in the statement number 7, which is a direct action to plant trees with a percentage of 66%. This condition is because tree planting can help reduce air pollution and convert carbon dioxide into the oxygen humans require, making the area more relaxed and beautiful too. Meanwhile, the level of belief in the usefulness of action with the least percentage is belief in the benefit of action number 10, namely using air conditioning in homes or offices will decrease global warming with a portion of 22%. Using air conditioning is one of action that considered generally environmentally friendly action, but actually is unconnected with global warming, and it appears that students increasingly realize this. Secondly, is about gender independent sample t-test output. This table displays the results of the independent t-test to determine statistical differences. Male and female students show no significant variations in their level of belief based on gender. The significant two-tailed findings back this up, which is larger than 0.05. These findings support previous research suggesting gender has little effect on students' belief to combat global warming. Thirdly, is about the results based on each provinces in Indonesia. The data shows that the average highest statement is in number 17, which is about proper environment policies in school. Meanwhile, the average lowest statement is in number 10, which is about having air conditioning in home and office with the details can be seen in the screen. The results also shows that more than half of the respondents believe in recycling. Recycling is an endeavor to separate valuable materials from garbage without subjecting them to physical, chemical, or biological processing. According to past studies, students believe recycled items are valuable. Research on different waste reduction methods, such as biogas production and composting, has been conducted in Indonesia. Unfortunately, the study's outcomes that can be done to address the waste problem did not result in the application and appropriate socialization in society. As a result, the knowledge gleaned from the research become less helpful in culture. Next, according to this table, the majority of students are concerned about global warming and believe it is occurring. Students are concerned about global warming because they already feel the impacts, like increasing Earth's surface temperature, worsening air pollution, melting polar ice, and unpredictable weather. Some students believe that they only understand the fundamentals of global warming, and others are still unclear of their understanding. They believe human activities and the rising of carbon dioxide cause this phenomenon. This result also aligns with previous research in which students believe global warming is a severe issue in current life. Last but not least is conclusions. Based on these studies, it can be concluded that the most helpful action in combating global warming, according to students' beliefs, was the desire to plant trees. Meanwhile, the less helpful step in combating global warming is to have air conditioning in their homes and offices. They also think that global warming will influence the planet, even though they live in an environmentally friendly society, while most individuals or towns do not. Based on the study's finding, we urge schools to improve scientifically education quality, mainly when teaching about global warming. The issue should then be interwoven with the applicable content, activities, and solutions to prevent global warming during the learning process. That's all about our presentation. Thank you, everyone.